Yeah.
Okay.
Spoil the child.
Spoil.
Spare the rod, spoil the child. As if you don't beat them, and I don't mean like for anyone gets gassed. I don't mean like you have to abuse them. I mean like little clap around the side of the head, like fix up, bruv.
So
Actually, I'm just going to go and sit in the corner. Then the kid keeps misbehaving. You basically, each child is different, so you also have to. Some kids you won't need to touch them. Other kids you will need to be like, yo, I'm gonna have to go out and get to the boko.
It depends what age they are, though.
But it's true.
It's like,
yeah, of
if
course.
you smack before, he doesn't have the age to know that he's getting disciplined, so he's going to go to school and smack someone and think it's right.
By the age of 4, they know. Okay, so I don't know about everybody else, but me, I was beaten.
Yeah. It was sent you to go and cut your own stick.
I was beaten.
Seriously, bro.
Because I was a stubborn child.
Get home.
Okay.
G-Lo, I the tracksuit. G-Lo. I was ready to go anyway, bro. G-Lo back in the day. Yeah.
So I know what it was like, and that made me. I'm not gonna lie. It made me angry. It made me resentful to a certain extent. Like, why couldn't you just talk to me at the end of the day? Do you know what I mean? But you know, sometimes as a child. Wait. Now, I have godchildren. Yeah, I've got kids, and I'm going to be an auntie very soon.
Hey.
So, with that in mind, my first instinct when a child would talk back to my friend, my first instinct was to slap the child and be like, why did you do that? But that's not educating the child in what they did wrong. Do you understand what I mean? Sometimes you have to take the time, come down to the child's level and ask them, do you think what you did was wrong? More time the child will say, yes, why did you do it? Because of so-and-so, or I don't know. If they say I don't know, then that's your opportunity to be like, well, it causes this, this and this. I'm not saying that you will not smack them.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Even if you were, that's your own. Sorry. But at the end of the day, we need to be able to come away from that thing. If a child does something wrong, you must smack them. No. Children are very smart. Children are so smart. They're smart. Some children, I'm sorry to say, but they're smarter than us adults at this rate. Because by this point in our lives, we have been battered, bruised, everything has come and hit us. Some of us just want to give up. But children, no, it's true. But children, as they're growing up, we need to give children respect, to be honest with you, because they are so enlightened from a young age. They're already in their personalities. They already know what they like and what they don't like. If that clashes with your beliefs, you can't beat the child for no reason. Try and understand your child.
Okay, so what you're saying is obviously got this proportionality to it. I'm assuming.
There has to be a balance.
Yeah, of course. As long as that's.
Yeah, there has to be a balance.
Now me, yeah, my mom beat me. I hope my mom watches this. She beat me.
I got beat too.
Do you understand? She beat me. Up to a stage that I went to my room one day, I packed my bags. Is anyone done that?
I just slammed the door to slam the door. She was dead, man. Actually,
yeah. My mom beats me, but that's the most. I'm so thankful for that.
Yeah, I won't take it back. I won't take it back.
I'm so thankful because I think it's molded me. Like what you said, you had a different type of experience, but I think that's molded me to be the guy I am now.
But you will also find that some of that experience is in terms of the good side of you.
There's
also
also
there would have been bad sides because as much
Okay, I
as
see
they,
what you mean.
I think it depends on which sort of person you are growing up. Because you could be a naughty kid, but disrespectful. When you get to a teenager, you could be naughty but respectful. My mum beat me in my head with a pogo stick. I was young. A pogo stick. Remember the thing? Like she hit me in my head with that, stilettos, the curtain wire. My mum went to try and drown me one time. It's mad. Those things there was probably. There was three of us brothers growing up. we was hard years, bro. Man used to try and set fire to the community centre that was down the road and things like that. When I used to get licks, we used to laugh about it. Now, not every kid would laugh about it. The sort of man I am now is, I'm not going to blow my own trumpet or anything, but I am a sort of tough boy. I am a tough boy. I can handle myself. Because of that. Not just because of that's in my genetics, no. It's the licks that I got.
Would you have said that part of the reason that you turned out well is because, as much as those licks may have sounded excessive, it's excessive. You wanted to burn out the community centre, so you kind of need someone to try and to give you a lick with a pogo stick to put you back in place.
No, I needed to be put in place.
Or jail. You see where I'm coming from? Because over time, you see where I'm coming from? So it's one of them.
That's happened, innit? So it's different. But that wasn't because of that.
Because of that, yeah.
That was because someone done something.
No, that's understandable. Yeah, I'm saying.
Yeah, I think
it
does.
They don't go the right way. Yeah. End up there because no one tried to guide them.
There's guidance, but then there's licks for hardiest picnics, and I was a hardiest picnic. I needed to be put in my place. As soon as I got to the age of 14, 15, when I started growing, I was able inside to be able to beat my father. Do you know what I mean? But that's not something that I would do because he used to give me licks. Now there's kids out there that when they get to that age, they be, what, dad? What? Who are you talking to? Boom, the dad. Now the dad's the kid. Now the dad's the kid. Now that's where the licks didn't affect that kid in the right way. They affected me in the right way.
Go on, sorry, you were going to say?
I think it depends what type of person you are. Like, you can say you grew up... Say you, like, depends on the type of person you are. Like, you can grow up in, say, I don't know, like an abusive family or a violent family, and you can become violent because you have that mind to tell yourself, well, I grew up with violence, so that's how I'm going to turn out to be, and it must be right. But then if you have the mindset where you're like, you know what, no, actually, I know that's wrong, and I would never want to do that to my own children, it depends what type of person you are. Like, you can grow up in the most
aggressive. Not necessarily.
That's still.
What's the question? Yeah, but I was at boarding school most of the time, so I was hardly with them, but I got beat up in boarding school. That's what I was saying. I received a lot.
From who?
Teachers, everyone.
Did that help though?
Partially, a bit yeah, a bit no. Yeah, I've grown up to respect my parents now, respect my elders, but a bit not, because I'm gonna do it to my kids now. If they don't listen.
You're gonna do the same thing.
If they don't respect, if they don't listen, I'm going to do it to them too.
It's like you're looking forward to it.
I'm not looking forward to it, but I want them to grow up how I grew up, and like obviously because it's molded me into the person I am today, so I feel like it will help them as well.
Cool.
Okay, that's if they're good kids, then I won't hit them or anything. But obviously, if they cross the line, I'll have to show them who's boss.
Like, I've heard a lot of stories like, me, I'm not gonna come and sit here and do things that I wasn't beat. Me, the punishment of my dad gave me, like the creativity in my dad's punishment. If he used it like to get money, yeah, my dad would be a billion. Like creativity. Like my dad, you see how you lot are saying, yeah, like you lot your beatings and that, yeah. Let me give you one thing, yeah, that my dad did to me, yeah. That up to now, I'll never forget that punishment, yeah, knowing, yeah. That like my dad used to beat me, yeah, but it got to a point, yeah, like. When I was growing up, like, it didn't hurt because, yeah, I started, yeah, when I was growing up here, I was like, alright, cool. This motive tonight, there's going to be bare things. But let me deep it, yeah. If I get 30 lashes and I come home with one thing's number, I'll chat to the thing after. Sorry, like, you cry when you reply to the text message, you understand? However, yeah, I deeped it, like, so I just come, I'll release my back, innit? That way, you know, you hit it that way. Do you understand? My dad, yeah, He changed the formula now. You understand? Because he knew that we're getting bad. Do you know what my dad did here? Who knows what Gary is? I don't know if you white people know what it is. Yeah. So I came home one day, obviously I must have done bad. I can't remember what I did here. But it wasn't even me that did it, it was my brother, but I'm not going to sell him out like that. But yeah, so my dad came in here. So we came in, we were all chilling. So me and my dad pulled up, yeah. Like, we have to go sit by a book. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That's sit by a book. If you see the TV's on, yeah, like, there's been times, yeah, this is how deep, yeah, my dad, if you haven't got the picture of my dad, yeah, my dad melted my PlayStation before. Do you know what it takes to melt a PlayStation? Do Do you know how much effort it takes? But then they come. So yeah, we came home here. My dad put Gary on the floor. Yeah. So he sent me to go get this Gary as well. Yeah. So I was about to eat it, and I was like, you ain't broke, man. Like you eating good. What did you do the Gary? So he put the Gary on the floor. Yeah. Oh, no. And he told us to kneel down in it.
On it.
Bro, listen. If you shift. Yeah.
It's like semolina.
It's like have you been on pebbles? Like
small grains.
Bro, it's like they put sand on the thing, and you have to kneel down. My dad did that, and he went to bed.
Sand. It's like sand. It's got the same consistency as sand.
It's like sand, and my dad put it on the floor, like little pebbles, He put it on the floor, and you had to kneel down.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
So you can't relate. You can't relate. Don't worry. It's alright. You're not meant to relate. It's alright. It's alright. However, bro, that punishment, my dad did that, me and my brother, and he went to bed. And he said that, none of you man can leave until I tell you man to leave here. This was like 10 o'clock in the night. Yeah, my dad we watched my dad fall asleep, bed, wake up at like 2 a.m., go out to the toilet, come back. And you know that thing is positioning. Yes. So when you shift, it means that the guy is shifting. And it runs. I realized it. So the whole thing about this whole topic it's not about the beatings. This is what I realized. It's not the beatings. It's the fear. You have to install fear into your kids. But it's not you beating.
I don't think that's right. I don't think
it's not. Wait.
Because why didn't Courtney beat up his dad when he was 14?
I was scared.
It's fear. It's fear. It's not the beatings. The punishment is they're upgrading now. My dad he was upgrading punishment. I just told him I'm not ready to be bad.
In addition to that fear thing, you're in church. You make noise.
Look. It's talking a lot. It's one of them ones. It's talking a lot.
The eyes lock.
Oh my days.
No.
You know,
after church.
And they nod their head after. They nod their head.
Yes.
They look at this one. They confirm it.
Your hair comes off right there.
That's it.
And you know what?
You got ball patch right there.
No. It's not even. It's not. They don't talk. It is a silence.
That's the worst one. When they the sound.
That's it.
The sound.
But the thing is, what I'm saying, like the generation we're heading into, is getting dangerous now. I feel like we need to take that side that we need to beat kids because nowadays as well, these kids they're developing. They'll go tell their white friends they'll bring social services to the house. No, it's not a joke thing. I've seen it happen better times. You go, your white friend will be not like white people. You lot are better Muslim. Oh right, what happened? Obviously my dad beat me. Oh so come next minute that man pull up like raid in your house. They'll come, they'll take you. But what I'm saying is
there's not white people because there's white kids that get licked.
I'm just saying it as banter. I'm not saying it as like, bro, you ain't been on Gary.
No. Have you ever had a horse whip? No, them horse whip. On your back. Them horse whip on your back.
Wait, your mum hit you with that?
My dad, Courtney,
that's slavery.
I haven't seen it yet. Like me,
slavery.
I was like, are you my dad?
That's
like, I asked you, are you my dad? The way you're treating me, you're not my dad.
But look, wait. Can I finish? One thing what my mum did. When she whips me, she brings me closer. When she whips me, then later she comes in. That way, I don't somehow like you don't feel it.
No,
you don't hate.
It's a scam.
No. This is the worst one.
They're finessing
you. Yeah. When they finish beating you, this is what they'll ask you. So what do you have to say for it? No, what do you say?
Yeah.
And when I found out it was thank you they were looking for.
Yeah, thank you.
I said,
sorry.
Yes.
the lesson that I've learned.
Yeah, sometimes look, they'll whip you in it. They'll whip you. You go to the next door neighbor house. Can you come and help me? Ask my dad for forgiveness. That's how bad it is. They'll whip you. They'll beat you up. Yeah.
Your next door neighbour?
No. My dad will beat me. Yeah. I'll leave the house. Go get my next door neighbor. Can you ask him to say I'm sorry? And that way, if not, mom will continue.
My
So
buddy
you
now.
get an extra
To add
to what Ethan said. Me personally, very, very Ghanaian. So my upbringing was very similar to him. But it's like, I don't remember who said it, but it does depend on the individual who is receiving the beat. Because I've just started working at, with children, young people, and I'm learning and understanding child development. And what I understand now is that when a child is born, for the first few years of their lives, they are just a blank canvas. They haven't got a conscience. They can't think for themselves. They can think subconsciously, but consciously they have to reach a certain age. It varies depending on the individual and how they develop, obviously. That's when they're able to think for themselves. Now, whatever you implement in that child will become their reality and will affect their lives for years and years and years and years and years and years to come. And for me personally, getting beat fucked me up. It fucked me up. It fucked me up. It hasn't helped me. It hasn't changed me. I hate, because I'm different. Precisely. You got many types. There's well, yeah, in that sense, yeah. But I also think it's very, very, very important that this is just my personal opinion, that if you are going to lay your hand on a child for whatever reason, reattunement is what is very crucial for this young person to develop. Because if you now leave a child in shame and guilt and not understanding what they're doing, there's no clarity. There is no sense of clarity. So if reattunement, you bring them back to that, all right, I got you, I'm your mum, I'm your dad, I still love you, okay? But if you mess up, we will have our issues. Yeah, precisely.
Wrongly, if they're at the dinner table and they're not eating right, show them how to eat right. Don't just tell them that's wrong. It is. It's programming, and it's like if you're picked up as a baby, there's like some people think it's better to like leave you cry. Some babies are good with that, but then if you're the type B, that you're just born like that, they need the love, and you're not going to know that until they're older. So if you're not picking your baby up when they're the type of baby that wants to be, that's gonna fuck them up mentally.
Balance, like, you don't necessarily, I don't feel like... The question was, what's the correct way or the best way to bring up a child? It's about having balance. Yeah. You don't have to beat them up to the extreme that McBriggs was beat at or whatever. Like, it is 100%. But from, like, there's one story that I'll never forget was when I went to a cafe. Being Portuguese, we have a lot of cafes, sorry. You could say please. Education. So, we went to the cafe, and I went with my auntie, and she was talking, and she kept saying, I was trying to say something, so I kept talking over her. And I kept saying it over and over and over while she was speaking. So then she decided to get the belt out in public, which was humiliating for me, and I was at an age where I knew that was embarrassing. But she told me at the end, you do not speak over your elders and you do not disrespect your elders like that. And I learned my lesson, and I will never do that again. But it was because I was continuously doing it. But I learned my lesson that time, and I haven't done it since. I don't think she had to do it to that extreme. If she was to raise her voice, I probably would have respected her enough, but it was what it was. And I just think it's a balance thing. You don't always have to beat your child to that extent. Maybe just a raise of a voice, and that respect being implemented in the household as it is. Like you said, it's just a stare. You know from that stare, like, I'm at the dinner table, if dad gives me the stare, you know what time it is. Silence. Like, that stare is enough. And you don't have to then put your hands on someone. I feel like it's just about having that balance. If you feel like the stare wasn't enough and then a week later it happens again, okay, then we're going to have to deal with it differently.
And on top of that, another thing, it's about communicating with the child. Yeah. The shouting is not going to work.
Yeah. She ignored me. She ignored me the whole time she was sat in that cafe. I was like, auntie, I kept saying it, and she sat there and ignored me the whole time, looking straight forward, covering on her conversation. She asked why. And she ignored me the whole time. So I knew I wasn't getting anywhere. And then the first thing she said, well, she didn't even say anything. She just got the belt out, and I knew that I was in trouble straight away. So I knew not to do it.
Why not just have the respect as an elder to show you? Well, when someone's talking, like, don't talk when... Why does she have to go to the extreme of getting about?
She's old school, so I feel like that was an old school. That's an old school... She's old school, so it was an old school.
When you're older...
I think I was been like 7.
I was young. At that time, you understand respect.
Yeah.
So she didn't need to tell you nothing.
Yeah. I should have known better.
And the fact that she was ignoring you, you kept on going, you required a belt because there's two. You had 2 stages. One, that you were old enough to clock it. Yeah. Secondly, you clocked it.
And you still continue.
Oh, okay, you still continue. Don't worry.
The worst thing was about it all was the public thing.
My question was beating the right solution.
No, it wasn't. Why
did
she? Because
How can it not be right? There's many solutions of going about ways. There's billions of ways.
She's taught you for when you're older that if someone's not treating you right, disrespecting you right, get violent with them.
I don't think that.
Because she could have spoke to her, the auntie could have spoke to her.
Yeah, exactly.
Now,
So
she would have gone and spoken over someone else.
Yes.
Yeah? And that person, it might not be a family member that can put their hands on them. So she wouldn't have respected. But her getting them licks with the belt, it made her respect. Now, with another kid, she might have been like at the cafe, she might have wanted a hot chocolate. The auntie might have bought it. now to discipline that kid, I'll take that hot chocolate away.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that it's going to be the same for the next person. So what she got made it like replay, if you know what I mean. So when
I will
someone
never
else
forget
talking,
that moment. Like,
yeah, do you know what I mean? So
Ever, like,
some
it's
kids
stuck
you
with
can
me.
take things away from. But it's not going to stop now. If you took something away from me, I'd have just waited till I got it back and done it again. I'd have doing it again. Trust me.
I think the beatings aren't needed. Like,
They're not needed.
Like honestly, like I feel like where we've all grown up to, like what I'm saying, like the beatings are needed. I feel like
they are or aren't.
They aren't. Like within our time, like obviously,
Yeah.
they're not built the same as we are. That's one thing. Like when how we're built, you see these little kids, these little youths out there, they're not built the same way we were built. Like you see the way they talk about 90s babies and stuff, like we're built differently. We were just the ending of that stage. But I feel like right now, yeah, like I've learned a lot of punishments here from my dad, which I'm gonna try them out because boy, some of them, my dad's got one here.
Yeah.
It's
See
called
that, Gary? Make sure you try the Gary.
Oh, that one. That's abuse in the childhood. But I've got one here. It's called Chinese thinking. Yeah. And let me show you what it does. So let's say if it was me and I was telling my kids something, yeah, this is what my dad did. Yeah. It's called Chinese thinking. You have to stand there, yeah. You have to balance your leg like
that's old school, man.
that, yeah. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching yours doing that position, yeah.
Why?
10 hours.
Have you tried this one?
Why? Try it for like 3 minutes. But when you go to the gym and you squat, you think that's hard. You think that's hard.
We have the lesson.
What's the lesson?
Yeah.
We have names for
It's feet, like it's just so the pain.
Can I come in?
A lot of people like.
What's the best way?
She needs licks.
I need licks.
No, I'm gassing.
Go.
No, there should be a balance, really. Okay, well, obviously, I've been up. I got not beat up, but like obviously you get the slap now and again, or the yeah, now and again. But then obviously, okay, so if I have kids, yeah, I'm gonna beat them up, but not.
It's the way you say it.
It sounds like WWE wrestling. WWE midnight Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw.
But like, so they respect me. Just not having, I see my little nephew talk the way he talks back to his mum. It's just like what are you doing? Like sometimes I can tell myself come give him a little, because he's like really disrespectful, and I don't want my kid to be like. I'm thinking who's the mum, you or me, like what's going on? So I will give him a little.
But your kids might not be like that.
Yeah, but
just naturally,
okay, but
they might not be like that.
You might just be little shits and you can't control it.
Okay, well that means.
When you see like parents, they can't control it, just like, bro, you mean your 3-year-old is running your life?
Exactly.
You're nuts.
Well, them American programs, blood, where the kids slapping up his mum. If that was my nephew, cousin, I would give that the woofing. I'd woof that, bro. Woof!